Hey, what's up? Kevin Ofurum,
Cory Mathews,
episode 28.
on location at Big Dennis James' house.
Dude, thank you, Dennis James, for having us here. Thank you guys for hanging out all day with us. It's been awesome.
It's been great.
Hanging out with 3 IFBB pros all day, dude. It's been just the Mecca weekend. The Europa, these guys both competed in the 212s. How'd you feel about the show?
I think the show was great. I mean, it was a great production for me. It was my pro debut.
So this was your pro
It
debut.
was my pro debut, so I officially say I'm an official
IFBB pro.
I actually stepped on the stage and actually competed. It was a tough lineup.
Olympia lineup, wasn't it?
Pretty much an Olympia lineup. You had, David Henry, who won the show. He was second at the Olympia. Guy Ciccinino was at the Olympia. Jose Ramos was at the Olympia. There were about 19 guys in the class. Notable names.
Yeah.
So it was a tough show, high caliber show. As a spectator, if I were looking at it, it's probably one of the toughest shows I've ever seen. As a competitor, I'm back there looking like,
Right.
Cory, what you think?
I mean, I think it was awesome. Me, I'm just such a competitor at nature. That I wanted to do a lot better.
Right.
But I work with Dennis, and I mean, he's been such a blessing to me and helping me get to dial in and just come in the best shape. And I mean, the evidence was at the last show at the Europa. I actually did the open.
Oh.
My potential there was, obviously a lot better, and my body was a little bit more stubborn in this contest prep. So we just gave it our best, and no regrets at all. It was an awesome show. There was, like you said, I mean, it was a serious.
Any big surprises that you saw? I know that a lot of people thought Jose Raymond was going to do a lot better, and then we got Charles the Take Sensation Dixon kind of came in.
Yeah, he kind of shocked everybody.
He kind of came in too. I heard he was actually Dennis was talking today that he came in like 200 pounds. But your condition, both of your guys' conditioning. I mean, we're seeing you guys, and I thought you guys looked pretty sharp. You definitely.
Thank you.
Formidable competitors up there, all the way from number 1 to number 19.
Oh, absolutely.
And you guys, just so if you guys don't know about Cory and Kevin, you guys are the Texas boys.
Yeah.
And you guys are training partners. You guys are are friends, and so it goes a little bit beyond just the actual competing right here. What do you guys in what gym you guys are out of MetroFlex down in Arlington?
Yeah, MetroFlex, the original MetroFlex in Arlington, and he lives on a different side of town, so he spends a little more time over in Plano. But what we do is we just kind of coordinate as best as we can and get together as much as we can, and just help each other grind it out.
Sure.
It's important to have that support system, have a training partner. I know this because I have the best training partner I can ever ask for at Mike. So we bounce things off each other. You support each other. You spot each other. Obviously you become really good friends too. But you're both light heavyweights when you turned pro. Did you guys ever battle head to head? And if you did, who came out on top?
How was that? Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question, because yes, we did. The first time, I've always seen Cory around competing. He's always seen me around competing, but we've always done different shows. And I've known him for a while, and the first time we actually did a show together was last year. And shared the same stage, same class. It was the 2012 Nationals. And the person I got first, that's spilled water, but it could be controversial. But that's first guy, second guy, third guy. So Cory edged me out on that one. But it's all good. I mean, we're backstage. I was happy for him. I knew my turn was going to come.
Right. Well, and at least you're going to lose to somebody. It's losing to somebody that worked their ass off to get to
another
that
cool
point.
thing about that, it wasn't like you had 3 or 4 spots in between you. You were right there next to each other. Mike and I competed. He came out on top at first. I came in at second. But at least we were right there. You felt like, well, you're not that much better.
Funny thing I noticed yesterday, and he didn't even realize. We always say great minds think alike. I don't know if they're being a little cocky, but sometimes we, literally we think or do the same thing. He pulls out his trunks. I'm like, yo, hold up, wait a minute.
Same color.
I pull out mine. Same color. We get back. We get to the check-ins. He's number 12. This one number
13.
Yeah, that's right.
13. Did you guys know Shambo to see him?
So it's always great. Cory's a great guy.
I mean, it was an overall awesome experience just to be here with my brother. Dennis. I mean, how can a guy not really look up to him and what he does? and how he pours himself into the athlete. And I mean, I just learned so much from him. And so, you know, this time, you know, even though as great of an experience as it was, you know, there was some bumps in the road, and Dennis gave me a new nickname. What was it called? Throw up boy or something.
That's a story behind
yeah, I was actually having some complications, some major dehydration or some severe dehydration, and I guess, you know, a little bit of food poisoning, you know, at the same time. So everything kind of kicked in at once, man. You know, so on one end I'm cramping, you know, arms cramping, biceps, legs, calves cramping up, and you know, on top of that, you know, vomiting and diarrhea and just, you know, all at the same time. And so, you know, it just got, I thought maybe it would get better, and, you know, I thought, you know, well.
How close were you to the show when this was going on?
No, this was during the show.
Oh, during the show?
Yeah,
This is just this weekend.
This weekend.
This is just less than,
Yeah, and so,
less than 24 hours ago.
you know, you know, I figured, well, I made it through prejudging. Okay, let me, you know, it should die down, you know, once I get some rest and sit down. And, you know, of course, we're at the booth, we're signing autographs and taking pictures, and it just progressively got so much worse that I kept running back and forth to the bathroom. Wow. And, you know, I mean, it just got so bad to where, you know, finally I was able to sit down, I just did like this, and told Kevin, I said, man, can you, you know, find a medic? You know, just find a medic and call Dennis. And next thing you know, they were rushing me to the back, and he helped me over there, and they stuck an IV in me, and, you know, Dennis is back there, and, you know.
Cracking jokes.
Yeah, of
Trying
course.
to keep my mind off something, you know. I'm over there vomiting and cramping at the same time, and they're trying to stick an IV in me, you know. And the whole thing, they're sticking an IV in me and doing it wrong and messed up my arm. That's a big funny thing now, you know, that we look back and, you know, we can truly look at it and say, you know, it's a memory, it's a, you know, a laughing moment now.
Yeah.
You know.
And a learning experience, I'm sure.
Actually, yeah. And he looks big in them biceps too, but he's a big baby because he took a picture in a wheelchair. Sent to his wife to get some sympathy.
Yeah, you got a sympathy train
gotta
coming when he
get-
gets
yeah,
home.
I
Oh,
go
baby,
for that.
help me out.
So, you know, how long have you guys known each other?
Since, well, I moved to Texas in '07. So I think I met him not too short after.
Have you guys both been into competitive bodybuilding about the same amount of years, or what have you guys been involved with it?
And then when did you guys each turn pro as well?
You know, for me, on a national level, really got into bodybuilding back in '08, and seriously started pursuing, or had the mindset of pursuing a pro card in '09. I think, again, Cory, as I said, came in a little bit later. I've been lifting, probably, you know, same age when Dennis walked into a gym. I walked in at 25. Like, I knew nothing. I didn't go into the gym looking for bodybuilding.
Right.
Essentially, bodybuilding found me in the gym. You know, some guy that walks up to you just like everybody else has that same similar story at times. And I was in school by profession. I'm a chiropractor. But bodybuilding is a big part of my life.
Right.
So I started, that was back in 2000, and then, like I said, seriously, '08 and '09. Between then, I did a couple shows here and there, but since '08, consistently, it's 1 or 2 shows. Then I saw Cory on the scene. Like I said, your first show was probably...
My first show was in 2010. I did
and
the
then
Home Star class.
prior to that, you know, met him and...
It's pretty amazing that both of you guys have had just a, you know, a short road to getting your pro cards, you know, so that is a testament to obviously work ethic, genetics, and you know, going after something that you truly want.
In a time, they're not giving out a lot of pro cards like other divisions, you know, they're not like candy. It's, you know, it's an IFBB pro card that, you know.
Well, we talked a little bit about that. That's kind of
I
the
thought
subject
I
that we
kind of
talked
a
about.
little segue there.
That, you know, that the whole IFBB, you know, pro card as a pro bodybuilder, it's really, I mean, growing up, we can probably all, you know, it's like there's a mystique behind that, you know, and it's kind of gone away a little bit. What are you guys? What are your guys' thoughts, kind of briefly on that?
I mean, for me, a pro card has always been looked at as a badge of honor. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
It's something that it's a statement that, you know, you've done something. You've worked really hard. You worked your butt off, and you know, anybody that knows bodybuilding, you know, it's a lifestyle. It's in the gym, out of the gym, behind the table, in the kitchen,
365.
you know, in the bed, you know, whatever, you know, and so. You know, for a person to get to that status, you know, it really it says something. You know, you don't just get there for anything, for any reason. You don't just stumble across it, you know. You had to have done something to get there. You know, it's a huge accomplishment. And so, you know, I applaud anybody that, I mean, if you're an IFBB pro, I don't care if you know, never step on the Olympic stage, you know, you, just to make that pro status, you know, means you accomplished a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me personally, anyone that has been granted an IFBB pro card, I guess in my eyes, the judges felt that they were worthy of it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
On that day, the wrinkled skin could have been the best wrinkled skin on that
stage.
Sure. So be it. That's what they had to go on. Mm-hmm. Are they deserving of it? That's a different story.
Sure.
So that's my take on it. But what my biggest irritant is usually when you see someone who's maybe competed in 1 or 2 shows, then they talk about the national level, and I'm gonna get my pro card and this show or that show.
Mike,
You know, I'm like, are you serious? And going
you're
back
not
to
national level, buddy. Okay.
exactly. And going back to
Yeah.
the kind of question you asked earlier, I'm like, do you know how long it took me to get a pro card? It may seem like a short period of time, but there are a lot of contests.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, on a national level at that.
Right.
And just kept knocking on that door, inch and inch and inch. And I mean, you know, so if you guys have to get out of the way, and it's like, okay, here you go, time to shine.
Right.
And for me, I was granted my pro card at the 2013 USA's literally just about 3 months ago.
Right.
And I said, you know what, that frying pan is hot, looks good. Let me
Jump
jump in
in
this
it.
bad boy.
That's the way to go.
Kevin, who was it that you looked up to as a kid that, you know, I always ask the question, you know, that I want to look like that guy. And, you know, Cory, too, I want to hear, you know, who your favorite bodybuilder was that inspired you to look like, or even to compete.
To be honest with you, I knew nothing about bodybuilding. Mm-hmm. Nothing. I remember seeing pictures of Sean Ray, Kevin Rooney, even Ronnie
Dennis
Coleman.
James.
You know, I saw Dennis a little
Dennis
bit later, and he
James.
was just crazy. You know, and Ronnie Coleman, and I come to find out Ronnie's local. You know, I had a friend of mine that actually got me into bodybuilding that played football with Ronnie and Grandma. So it's like a little circle there. And, you know, I would say, not that I really looked up to him to aspire to be like him, because I'm looking like, I'm soaking wet 145 pounds. That's not going to happen. But maybe in the back of my mind, you know, maybe I can train and see what happens. I didn't know how to eat, all of that. I just did what I did.
Right.
You know, but you have to have that genetics behind you to kind of push you
Sure.
forward. So I can't say I looked up to anybody or aspired to be like anybody, but as I got into it, there's some people that, you know, had a good physique. I think I was telling Dennis earlier, I saw, he said Fullerton or something. I mean, that was crazy. I think the Road to Olympia video. And that's why one of the first times I saw him, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Dude,
And as soon as I saw him, I'm thinking Ronnie Coleman. I'm like, you know, they keep talking Ronnie. No one can beat Ronnie, but I don't know, this guy. You know? I mean, I think it was just, a chest incline. I mean, I'm like, what the heck is that? So, I mean, you know, and then I've talked to Dennis here and there, but we've got to spend a whole weekend with Dennis. And, man, sometimes when people tell you cannot judge a book by its color, especially if you've never said a word to him,
Right.
that totally fits. Because Dennis can be intimidating. He's, like I say, he's medium Dennis now.
Yeah.
But when Dennis was even a large Dennis, it could be very intimidating.
Sure.
But man, that guy, I ain't gonna tell some stories he gave me. A little soft-hearted. He's a great guy, man. Yeah.
How about you?
Well, for me, you know, I grew up, obviously, my era was, you know, the Incredible Hulk era, you know, so, you know, my dad always told me, you know, if there's something that I can't give you, you know, then you pray about it, you pray for it.
Sure.
And so, of course, here I am, 6 years old, I'm praying for muscles, you know.
Muscles.
And so that really started it. So my mom would go somewhere or something and come back, and I've converted her gym or her kitchen into a little gymnastics area. You know, I got a push-up station, a curl station, you know, a set-up station. I'm doing all that, and I grew up doing that. And then when I was 14 years old, you know, that's when I really got introduced to the weights, and you know, I was a little more advanced than my friends. You know, so my body developed a lot different, and you know. So from the time I was 14 years old, you know, till, you know, I moved to Texas in 07, you know, I shied away from bodybuilding. I didn't want to do any shows or anything. I just loved to train and,
Be big.
trained
Use your
with other,
genetics
I
and
trained
just
with
be
other
big.
bodybuilders,
Sure.
and I even trained some other bodybuilders. And but when I moved to Texas, I trained at a gym that you know, going there, and I didn't have a training partner at the time, so I'd be in there training and working out, you know, just tearing stuff up the best I could, you know, by myself though. And there were these two guys that come in there every day, and they'd be wrecking house, you know. And those two guys just happened to be Gus Carter and Ronnie Coleman.
Oh, wow.
And so they would come in there, and here they are, pulling big weight, lifting big weight, and their style was much like what I liked. And so naturally, conversations, and we ended up clicking. They ended up letting me come work out with them. Gus, Ronnie used to always go in our town, so we'd leave a lot of time. Gus would need someone to be with him and train with him, and he was getting ready for a show at the time. And so, I just fit right in with them.
Right.
And obviously, from that point in history, because those are the two guys that got me on stage.
Yeah.
And right now to this day, Ronnie's been with me, from the whole time. Kind
Yeah.
of.
Which is that who your guys' sponsor is Ronnie?
Yeah.
I like those shirts. Those material. That's a nice material.
Ronnie Coleman's signature series. It's great taste and stuff.
So,
Is it good taste? Does it really taste good?
It's good?
Yeah. Good group. He's
Well, he had the longest line. We tried to see him for a second, but the line was like, I don't know, it must have been a couple hours long here at
It's
the
all,
expo.
it's anywhere you go.
I
Right.
know.
I went to Oklahoma with him, man, and we did a guest appearance, and the run actually supposed to be wasn't supposed to start till 12 noon,
Right.
and at 7 a.m. you had a line of people all the way down the street.
Yeah.
You know,
And he draws a crowd, that's for sure.
So what's next for you guys?
we do with Dennis to see what he has in mind, and just whatever the team want to do.
Yeah.
For me, for the first time, I'm forcing myself to stay out of the gym for at least 4 weeks.
Take
I-
some
Yeah,
time
I
off
definitely,
the body.
I'm definitely
Find
get some
any
rest.
and every excuse not to go in, but that's not going to survive too long. I know it, but I have to keep myself busy to stay out of the gym.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'll get with some people and talk and see what the schedule looks like. And, now with the the IFBB getting to learn some new rules, there's a schedule. Certain shows they're already
Yeah, you could-
sanctioned, so you
Right.
know what shows are what,
Right.
and then you can strategically pick shows that you may want.
That worked the best for you.
Yeah, that works the best for you. Schedule things, plan out. So hopefully that comes out soon.
But we will see you guys both on stage next year.
Oh, absolutely.
For me, I'm hoping so. I definitely need to make some improvements. Again, like I said, I saw that frying pan look good. I'm like, let me jump in, but it looked like it's way too hot. So I have to make some improvements, but definitely, like I said, I'm going to get with some people and see, what's possible and within reasonable realm. If it's possible next year, I'm definitely doing it. The person I'm thinking of, I trust them. If they say, let's chill out till the next season,
Take the time
I've been
and grow.
doing this literally every year since 08. So
Sure.
if I need that year off, actually might be a blessing, but it'll be tough.
Right.
But at least, I'll be in the gym doing what I love.
Yeah.
And as far as the stage, I don't know if he's prepping for a show, and I'm not. I know it's gonna be tough, but,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
It's always gonna be support.
really just aiming to, I'm gonna take a little bit of rest, let my body heal up and recover, and like I said, this whole weekend my body just went through a whole lot, and so I'm gonna take advantage of the next few weeks, and it's back to the drawing board.
Right.
I really believe that
Sorry to interrupt, but I mean, when you say back to the drawing board, it's like you're reinventing yourself. But, I mean, I don't think that's where you're at. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about here, but I don't think it needs to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, I mean, we all need to get improved and focus on some areas, but pick a couple body parts you need to bring up, and it's not back to the drawing board for either one of you, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and you guys know too, it's a constant work in progress. Bodybuilding, it doesn't stop, and that's the greatest thing about it. Most of us are probably control freaks, so if you want to add a little bit here or add a little bit there, we can do that, and that's probably the greatest thing about this sport is you get to control all of that. So
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just believe that the best is yet to come.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So for me, I want to really be able to display my full potential. I really want to be able to show, that hard work pays off. And I think we were able to, like I said, the Europa in Dallas, I think we were able to show a little bit of that. You know, that was my pro debut actually, and you know, I placed 5th among the big guys.
Yep.
You know, and so you know, something that Dennis was saying earlier is just like, you know, if you can place 5, you know, maybe I can go a little higher.
Sure.
And so to me, that's you know, so I'm not going to look at this show and say, you know, I got to so much reinvent myself, but I do want to, you know, recover and put myself in a position to be at my best.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that means rest, guys. I mean, you know, I have to tell myself and convince myself into that myself. But you know, Kevin and Cory, that you know, they put on a show this weekend. Mike says, you know, we're on a show, but we would like to have you put on a show for us. It's kind of a tradition. If you're in shape, you obviously just did the Europa. Would you guys mind?
Let's throw up a couple front double biceps
maybe a
for
couple
us.
front doubles before we wrap up the show.
Do that.
Before we do that, though, I got a little ahead of myself. You know, is there anybody that both of you'd like to thank? I know that it's a huge sacrifice for your family, obviously for yourself, but I mean, who is it for you, Kevin, that you would really like to show a shout out, and then Cory, you follow him up?
Yeah, first of all, definitely Ron Coleman's Signature Series. That whole team have been great, always have been. Dawn Long and Sarah Long have always been in my corner. Definitely want to thank them. My friends back home that support me as best they can. And my boy right here, you know, it was great having him here with me this weekend, and I'm sure he'll tell you the same, vice versa. And without a doubt, Mr. Dennis James for his hospitality. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, Cory,
What coach invites you over to his house all day?
Cory works with him, but I mean, I was right in the mix as if, you know, I'm right part of it, never neglected, was right there. You know, spent a few hours on us feeding us, and some muffins that we
Little Patron.
a little Patron. But yeah, definitely Mr. Dennis James. I mean, again, like I said earlier, you know, you never judge a book by its cover. You got to know somebody, and one of the greatest guys on that, and actually got to know a little bit more over the weekend.
Yep.
For me, I just, you know, of course, my wife and my children, they're at home right now, and I miss them every day, you know, but they're really a huge part of my support base. I mean, my wife makes sure that everything goes smooth during the contest prep the best she can. She's a superwoman, and we just thank God for her. And of course, you know, I thank God, you know, big shout out to Big Ron and RCSS over there, and you know, those are, like I said, you know, Ronnie is the one that, you know, from day one for me, you know. Brian Dobson over at Original MetroFlex Gym, you know, he hangs with me every day, banging it out. And I mean, you know, the thing about it is, you know, I put a lot of training partners, you know, they'll quit after the first day. After the first day or two, you know, they're done, man. Brian makes sure that, you know, it's like, well, if everybody else abandon you, I'm not going to abandon you. You know, I'm going to train with you, and we train hard and go at it. And I mean, this guy trains the same today that he was training 20 years ago. Just same intensity. I mean, just, he loves it. He loves it. And I think that adds fuel to my flame. And of course, you know, I can't go without saying big shout out to Dennis James. You know, I mean, we make that type of team, man. You know, sky's the limit. We're going all the way, baby.
Right on.
Right on, man.
Team
The
Menace.
Texas boys.
The
Texas boys in the house.
Kevin and Cory. What do we got? We want to thank MetroFlex.
Of course, we got to thank our home gym, MetroFlex, which you guys did a little shoot or something there over there,
having a
man.
little bit of fun there.
Yeah, MHTH, our clothing sponsor.
Peoria Ford,
Big AZ Promotions.
IronInfinity.com,
IronInfinity.com.
Cory Mathews,
That's right. Yeah.
Kevin Ofurum.
Kevin Ofurum. We struggled with his name all
We
day.
did a little bit. But a couple front doubles before we turn out the show.
All right, baby.
That's the real deal right there, guys.
Real deal. That's 22 right there,
Nice.
We get way out of this picture, guys. All right, man.
Thanks again, guys. We
Kevin and
appreciate it
Cory,
very much,
Mike
man.
Best, Vincent VJ Hils on the Mike and V
Thank you.
Bodybuilding Show, platform for all bodybuilders. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. We're out.